we got a game
All
coming.
right.
We're bumping.
Are you playing the bumper thing now?
Yes.
Bum, 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 bum. Can we make a jazzy bumper?
Dude, we should. We could redo the bumper. Trent, you could make that a Saturday project.
No, I'm busy on Saturdays.
All right, man. It's all good. It's all good. I don't want you to stress.
No,
Here we go. Game 2, OG versus MP. This is for all the marbles.
Wow,
Lower bracket finals. OG takes it 1-0 in the first game. What do we got, Mott?
This is a bunch of offlaner bans.
Yep.
I mean, like every offlaner has now been banned out. I mean, not
Nick's Assassin is the one that's left that's jumping out at me.
There's still a couple, but they're just not as good.
Guys,
as the other ones.
is this the time that we see Tusk?
Let's bring back Bristleback.
Absolutely
guys.
not.
Why would you bring up that hero?
I'm pretty sure
Bristleback.
you put Lich off lane before you go Tusk.
Well,
I'm
you
sure
do a dual
Nyx
lane
is
with
the
the
best
Tusk,
idea
you
you've had.
silly willies. He's not solo, but he can go
There's
in the off
Abaddon
lane.
too. There's still Abby.
There's like a ton of them you can do that are okay. They're like mediocre.
Pick
In my head,
any
I was
strength
thinking
hero.
Abaddon was still banned because we had that remake. That was
Aha.
a bit of a brain fart, might
I
be.
see.
We can make that a Suns fan ban.
Abaddon? It's a pretty good Suns fan ban.
Arc
Yeah.
Warden's still in the pool,
Hey,
baby.
look at that. You were right.
Yeah, Nyx.
Oh, that's true. Arc Warden is still there. Well, OG's not picking it for sure.
NP's going to grab the
Oh,
Arc
they could
Warden.
do support, but I don't know if they played it before. NP, I don't think. Wait, did they play it at all? I'm trying to think. Not that I remember.
I don't think so, no.
Like AUI doesn't practice those kind of heroes.
I think this is a really good Invoker pick for a couple of reasons. Obviously, the first one is just that a lot of good heroes are out of the pool, right? So other good heroes get stronger. In addition, both teams have a player who favors the hero a lot. And I think when it comes to cores right now in the meta, it used to be very different from this. You know, you used to want to hide your mid pick a lot for both teams. But I think now the way the game's played with more emphasis on side lanes, if you get a comfort pick for mid, you can actually pick it fairly early. I mean, this is extremely early if you're talking captain's mode, but still, I think it's a good start. You can tell NP were not expecting this, and they're going to take time. And what's their response? It's going to be another core that has a decent matchup against Invoker and that they're comfortable with.
And probably their Elder Titan, maybe?
I think we're going to see a
it'll get banned?
support. I think
Yeah.
some sort of support here. They like Elder Titan a lot. Finally,
Oh, yeah.
I feel like this hero has been so underpicked today. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
McGee.
That is
That's
a
very
good point.
hero.
The Ogre.
He's gonna bully that poor Invoker mid.
Mm-hmm.
For example, the big advantage you have with picking Ogre is that the hero basically goes to a lane and wins it, almost. You know, there's ways of dealing with it, but it's very, very strong. So when you pick it this early, you don't show too much of your hand. You're just telling the opponent, we want to be aggressive on you, and we have a support that makes all our cores better. So you're OG right now, and you're just like, okay, they could go on our Invoker lane, they could go on our safe lane, we don't know yet. And I think a good approach here for OG would be either to pick a support, or they need to pick a core that matches up well against Lifestealer and can somewhat deal with Ogre's pressure. There's not that many of those heroes, actually. So
Especially when we go back to starting to consider like offlaners and who can handle that.
it's difficult though, because Lifestealer has a good one-on-one matchup against almost every offlaner, and that frees up Ogre to go somewhere else. So if you want to try to get something out of your offlane, I think you almost have to dual lane here into the Lifestealer, or maybe even tri-lane if OG want to do that again. They could aggro try with Sunstrike. That could be fairly interesting. We'll
Alright,
always
this
hit
is the
Lifestealers with rage.
Bloodseeker game, guys.
Coming.
Oh, OG like Bloodseeker actually. Why not?
Yep. Do it to it.
Yeah, the
Jerax.
Jerax Bloodseeker, yeah.
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 I'm down for it.
Yay, Bloodseeker.
Bloodseeker.
OG's voice chat right now is, oh shit, Ogre's in. And that's going to take them 2 minutes.
What do we pick?
That's tricky.
Um,
They could just default to something like Earth Spirit for Jerax, but I don't think it's... Oh, it's banned actually, but I don't think that's good. That good.
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Same idea, kind
Oh,
of.
yeah.
Yes.
It's
big
pretty
boy
good.
on big boy.
Yeah, Breaker can... He can't one-to-one trade with Ogre, but it's pretty good. You have 5 armor, you like to go over Venom, and if you skill Greater Bash, it's like some... You can at least pretend that you're Ogre when you're Spirit Breaker.
Yeah, and at this point, it's still
Elegant.
like possible to consider it being offlane too, just in case. I mean, obviously, it's not.
Oh,
really...
that's true. Yeah, S4 loves that. You're right.
Yeah, it's an idea to at least keep in mind, just considering the pool is so weak, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Maybe if they get another support that doesn't have a good stun, just because they only have Ogre Magi, so assuming if he probably doesn't even want to level up Fire Blast that early anyway, so you might just have that like safe getaway for the Spirit Breaker, even though Feast obviously wrecks you.
I think there are good things to be said about dual laning Spirit Breaker into Lifestealer. I think either as the support or the core in the lane, there's definitely options. I think the one thing NP don't want to do is have the Ogre safe lane. They want the Ogre to either bully the Invoker or bully the enemy safe lane. So if they need to help their Lifestealer a lot, and if OG can force the Ogre to have to come there, I already would consider that a really big win for them.
I think OG might want to think about a Magnus ban here. We've seen the power of Bloodlust plus Empower, and then also it's a good Infest Bomb carrier. Not to mention,
Great idea.
NP played it earlier, didn't they?
They sure
Yep,
did.
MSS
well, not
God
Ogre, but
looked
yeah.
pretty nice.
The Magnus, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was the game that they crushed with. The Lifestealer had the Empower, like,
Yeah.
AUI.
That's what I'm
strength.
saying, bro.
I mean, they
That's-
could definitely do that.
Shit's scary.
I mean, we also talked about, like, in good Infest Bombs, I don't know if it's still, this, like, Storm Spirit's banned, so
They
that
just
banned
banned
out,
it,
yeah.
Do
And
people
there's the
pick
Razor, yeah.
Medusa not mid?
You
Doesn't
can-
seem like
I haven't
it.
seen it not made in a
Can
long
safely.
time.
How
Okay,
about
so
we
I
just go
think-
IO Tiny for OG? Just go global presence right now.
Oh,
That's
that's
a
old
thought.
school. I love it.
With
I
the
was
Sunstrike, with the
because
charge?
we haven't seen Io, like, at all.
I don't think they want to pick Io into Ogre. I feel like that's not a good matchup. The early laning stage, Io is weak, and Ogre
This is true.
king. And in addition to that, Ignite. If you ignite the Wisp in the fight, it actually can't heal anyone because it's ticking for 8 seconds. So you can't use Tether effectively. It's a very good counter pick. It's one of the longest damage over time abilities in the game. So I think the reason OG didn't ban Magnus is that they were looking at the bigger picture. I think Mag could have been a good pick for NP, but the weakness of the hero is that it doesn't pressure mid. So if you put a Mag mid against Invoker, Invoker free farms. And if you're NP right now, I think you don't want Ana to free farm in that lane. So instead they banned the Razor that could have benefited a lot from Bloodlust, way more than Mag can, and that could have beat their Invoker mid. NP might be considering something like, is OOD is community banned? Okay. Could have been a good pick.
Death Prophet.
I was.
Hey.
DP
There's-
could work, yeah. Envy likes that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. I doubt they'll pick their mid now, though. I think they want to pick secondary support or offlaner.
They have
There
fun
it
too.
is.
They get the
Nice,
Wisp.
That makes sense. I mean, it's just a good hero. It's up
It's
to the
pretty
pool,
good.
but
Yeah.
Do they go IO Tiny mid still, or do they, like...
I've never seen NP run an IO +1 mid that I can think of.
Yeah, it'd be really strange to see them do that now.
I mean, it
They
could
can
just
also
be...
do. They can't do. They could do. I don't know if you like putting this Sven mid with an IO if you wanted to do that, because NP likes playing Sven, but I don't know if that's the best idea.
That's true. I'll take a moment to note that we're at 5 seconds of reserve time, and there is not an audio glitch. Thank you, Buka.
Nice.
Oh,
Well done.
Sick.
Buka God.
Wait, can because we weren't able to hear it before. Anyways.
Yeah, right now we don't have any audio, but I'll take his word for it.
Good work, Buka. Nice
So
job.
if we're looking at OG's next support, are they disruptor pickers?
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
For sure.
What
Derek
the
likes
hell
it.
has happened to Slark? Is he just like garbage now?
He's not won a lot of games recently.
He's
every
weak
game
in
I've seen
lane.
him in, it's been bad.
He's very abusable in lane. Has very bad like early first 5 levels. He's not that good. Doesn't respond well to pressure, and he needs to farm before he can get activated. Like it's almost
Dazzle.
impossible to play
Dazzle.
Slark without.
Oh, let's
playing
get
Core or
some.
Shadow.
Let's get some Huskar.
We don't
Let's
know.
do it.
The
We
bedazzle.
don't know if this is a Spirit Breaker core or support yet, though. I suppose is the one thing.
One iconic OG hero though.
Yeah,
That is like their hero.
that's for damn sure.
Sorry, Cinderin. So,
I like
Wraith King.
I like TA for NP. I don't know
Yeah.
if they.
I was thinking the same thing, but I don't think Envy plays it. And I mean, they still have it for the last pick, so if it's good enough, I'm sure they might. But
This is also a good hero.
DK.
Difficult hero for a Spirit Breaker to kill. Good hero with Bloodlust. Good hero with Tether. Dragon Knight nowadays actually matches up pretty well against most heroes mid. I think his absolute worst matchup is Razor, and they banned that already.
Wow. Nice.
okay, so that'll be
That's
the
off
off lane
lane.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's S4's one of S4's favorite
Yeah,
heroes.
that's him.
So it's a 4 Spirit Breaker. You know, I do like Dragon Knight with Wisp. Like, it doesn't seem like a conventional pairing, but Dragon Knight's a momentum-based hero. If you can relocate him to get kills and then like do the taxi service thing, it's pretty sick. Like, Dragon Knight can take over the early game.
I think DK is good. Yeah.
I
Is,
like this.
Is a bristle ban warranted because they're dire side and they already have the IO?
That would be.
You could still put it in the off lane. I don't know if you would. You don't have to have the IO paired up with it in the beginning, probably. I mean, you could. You should. I don't
Well, it's a
know.
nice aggressive dire side.
Yeah.
duo,
All right,
right?
guys.
And then you can, like,
it's
stack
time for
ancients, but-
Bloodseeker. Come on,
NP
OG.
want a team fight hero.
Do it.
I think they're way too single target right now. against this OG lineup with a lot of teams.
That's
They
it.
ban
I like
Enigma.
that
It's a
ban
good
actually
ban.
a lot. Offlane Enigma
Yep.
potentially.
No, it's
Mm.
perfect.
So one thing that OG like a lot, that they've even played this in Captain's mode, I think they really favor Brewmaster when they have Dazzle, because Shadow Wave works on the split.
Yeah.
Right.
So what they do is they split and then they boulder toss and then they run the 3 Brewlings around the target, and then he gets like that extra 300 damage out of the Dazzle that allows him to solo kill. And it's not just that it's good for Brew, it's also good for Dazzle, because in a lot of games Dazzle will like struggle in mid game to find an aggressive purpose. You know, it's a very defensive hero.
There it
So
is.
it's nice to get that off.
Okay.
Larky
Actually, do
malarkey.
go for this long.
Wow.
They,
Doesn't seem
they
that
have
great.
a pretty good defensive supporting cast here. Spirit Breaker
Yeah.
Dazzle is a fairly strong duo.
He kind of
It's
pairs
not
up
that
nicely with
useful.
that timing of the Brewmaster too, where Invoker can just be
Yeah.
like
They
off split
do-
pushing and
Yeah.
sunstriking, and they'll just fight with Brewmaster Slark with Shadowblade.
I think.
Pretty
yeah,
good
I was
pick.
about to say, damn it. I was gonna
Oh,
say Abaddon.
yeah.
Dude. Abaddon's fucking great in this situation.
It is. It's good here.
It's really, they have a lot of defensive supports or just defensive heroes in general with the Ion, the Abaddon, and I
What
don't
happens
know.
with Aphotic Shield on Pounce?
I don't
does
know.
not
I don't-
remove
it
the tether,
I
I
don't
don't
think it
think.
should remove it. It shouldn't remove it. I don't think.
Oh, yeah, I don't think you can purge that off.
I don't think it does. It's like
I think it's one of those not dispellable things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even with a strong dispel, I don't think that should get removed. That's like
So-
that's really important. For
So
Slug.
here's my concern for NP is that I think if this goes late game, they more or less. I don't want to say they can't win the game, but I think it gets really, really difficult at one point. Like their team fight is weak.
Yeah.
The Abaddon is going to run out of steam at some point, and you know the Ogre Bloodlust is great, but he's supporting 2 cores here. I don't consider Abaddon a good Bloodlust carrier overall.
Right.
It feels like OG just has a lot more options. Like they've got great heroes for stalling out the early and mid game with Spirit Breaker, Brewmaster, even Slark. You know, you've got Sunstrike. So it's going to be hard for NP to close it out in the early game, and then totally agreed. Late game OG should scale a little bit better. So
Yeah.
when does the win condition for NP come in here? Like they have to hit some kind of a sick timing and really do some crippling damage.
Well, you can see like some nice pressure. Like we already saw what AUI could do in terms of like punish after like bad fights. So bad brew splits and stuff like that could still be punished pretty heavily by DK plus Lifestealer.
That's true. There's always a lot of pressure to make those Bruce splits count. I mean, that's one of the weaknesses of the hero is that,
Yeah.
like, if you make the ultimates work, he takes over. If you flop or have to use him defensively, he very quickly looks unimpressive.
I can't imagine they want to wait too much longer than like the Armlet another item for a Lifestealer or the DK as another item. They start pushing down towers with Elder Dragon form. They've really pretty solid team fight early on
I think
in the
they
game.
want to do it, but even earlier than that. I
Yeah.
think ideally they want to push the first tower before Brewmaster hits level 6 even.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's also a game where Brew should thrive. You know, he gets shut down by, like, Skywrath Mage, heavy silences. They don't really have great control. And especially
Yeah, it's just
with
Dragon
the
Tail, really.
Dragon
Yeah,
Tail.
and Shallow
Dragon-
Grave on top of that. Like, he should be able to get his ultimate off pretty much every
If
team
they get the
fight.
Dragon Tail, though, they could follow it with the Fire Blast. They might be able to burst him down. It'd be tough. They would need a lot of damage for it, I think. 'cause
At
he's
least
so
you've still
tanky.
got Dazzler. You've got Spirit Breaker who can knock
Yeah,
people out of the way.
I think this brew will have a pretty good
Yeah.
time.
I
They don't
like
even
this
like
for OG
itemize for
fan.
it, honestly.
I would say NP's lineup is probably just stronger than OG's in the first like 15 minutes if they play it right. If they win their lanes, this game can turn out really one-sided, because what could end up happening is that Slark doesn't get to play Dota almost.
Kind
The
of like
hero
the brew.
gets
too.
very difficult to play. If you lose your tier 1s early and the enemy team starts having money on supports to buy multiple sentries and take Roshan, then how does OG actually stop the NP bulldozer when they come with a Dragon Knight with Aegis and a Wisp and an Abaddon backing him up and starts knocking down towers? Because, you know, OG have the splits to kill heroes in. When it runs out, it gets hard. But so that's like, it's a bit of a delicate game. One team is stronger early, one is stronger later, and then comes down to whether OG can outplay them early or not. And well, for NP, it's the same story, right?
Yep.
First 15 minutes very crucial in this game, I think.
I'm really
Who is
As
the
always, but
spectator?
even more.
Jesus.
It's not
Yeah,
me.
it's-
It ain't me.
Yeah,
either
I'm there.
one of the Russian or Chinese,
Chinese
broadcasters.
broadcasters.
Goddamn Russian.
I mean, we're all in, right? We're all.
I'm really enjoying though this spread here of like the in-game like profile cards that OG have going on. Jerax has 4 S4 cards. Oh no, we can't see him anymore.
Oh no.
Oh no.
What are we gonna do?
Ah.
Oh.
Ha.
Oh.
All right, we should.
I
All
was
right.
about to make a joke that someone picked Abaddon, but he was supposed to, so we're good.
Ah.
Well done. Suns fan, buddy, this is you. Take it away, man. You're casting this one. Whoa.
Hello and welcome back to Game 2 of the lower bracket finals between NP and OG for Elimination Mode 2.0. My name is Sunsfan, joined by Cinderin.
I really don't want to be here.
Hello, Cinderin, how are you doing?
I'm good. This.
Did you know
oh,
Ogre
I like this
Magi
game.
was intelligence and Io was strength? What a revelation.
I did.
Amazing.
I know that because I play a lot of Ogre.
I'll bet you do, actually. I can see that for sure.
It's one of my favorite heroes to play in Dota.
Do you
right
just
now.
like fat
It's
pieces of meat?
Super
Is that
fun.
your thing?
Exactly.
You do
I'm
eat a
all
lot of
about the-
steak, so...
Big booty Ogre, dude.
But
It's
you
the-
like the steak lean. You don't really have like this fat dripping off, and that's what Ogre really personifies. In
Oh,
my
I
opinion.
like the fatty part of steaks too, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's good.
Well, so when you order a steak, what's the... How do you put it? The
My
you know how they ask
favorite?
you? No, is it like medium, rare, whatever?
Medium rare porterhouse.
Medium rare. Okay. I don't think
Yeah,
I've tried medium
absolutely.
rare before.
Medium rare is the best.
I just do medium.
It's probably the second best.
Okay, so you're not like one of those elitists who's like, you're ruining the meat by making it medium. Ugh.
I am like that if you go beyond medium.
Ugh. I used to get well done.
Medium well or well is
Yeah, when I was a kid,
disaster.
I went to this steakhouse as S4 is going to be found out here by Envy.
excellent segue.
That wasn't my segue. I just interrupted myself. Anyway, back to my great story. As a kid, I used to go to the steakhouse and get a well-done burger, and every time they would serve me a boot first, like literally just a boot on my plate. That was a thing at that restaurant. And for years, I was like, "Oh, that's so cool! I'm gonna keep ordering this over and over." Little did I know they're just mocking me because I'm ordering something that's supposed to taste like a boot.
Yeah. Well, at least you found out eventually.
This was only a couple years ago that I found out.
That does not surprise me. Actually.
Anywho, NP should be getting this top rune as
Yep.
S4 is the only one there for OG.
As
but
they have Ogre there.
yeah, Ogre. The Ogre himself.
Okay,
Bottom
so
rune
to
will be
recap
for
a bit
OG.
on my thoughts pre-game, you know, in the metagame in general, the first 15 minutes right now are maybe more important than they ever have been. Maybe excluding like TI for late stages of the tournament where the games got very push-oriented, but this game is even more important just because of the like. There's no, in my opinion, direct overlap in power. I feel like NP's lineup is stronger earlier in the game and OG's is stronger later in the game. But the better NP play the early game, the longer time span they have until that transition kicks in. The key items to look out for are Brewmaster's Blink Dagger and Slark's Blink or Shadow Blade, his item of choice here.
You really think he'll go? I haven't seen Blink on Slarkin forever.
It does happen occasionally. Enjoy your lane, No-Tell. This is
For real.
actually almost
No-Tell's used to this treatment though. Actually, he might be in a little bit of trouble. He's gonna pounce into the trees. He'll eat his way out slowly but surely. Doesn't have
Double
a quelling
tango.
blade, so takes 2 tangos to get out of there. But yeah, he's gonna have a rough time. They could just sack him. You know, that's the typical OG fashion, right? Just win the other lanes.
I think the choice here from NP to have both Io and Ogre down here needs to be changed around. I think they need to help AUI with one of them. They don't need to be 3 heroes here to put this much pressure, as long as OG are committing their Spirit Breaker up top.
Oh boy, we're gonna have a dive here already. Jerax tangoing
that's
up
an
underneath the
alternative way of
tower.
doing
No-Tell in the meantime. He'll be left alone. They really want to focus on this Dazzle. That first blood, very important for them. He's leveled Shadow Wave. He has Grave actually, just got level 2, and now here's a TP support from Fly, who has a passive Greater Bash leveled up. Jerax gonna Grave up. Who's gonna get the first blood? That is the question. Looks like it's gonna be really close actually. Oh, they get 2 kills, but first blood does go to NP, I believe. And now Ogre in a lot of trouble. The charge is up. Nice bash from Fly. The RNG is in his favor. Slark, 6 seconds left on Pounce.
That is...
Sunstrike was not even close, but I think they're going to get this anyway. 1
Ion
second.
Cannon charging.
Never mind. I forgot
Okay.
that they spawn pretty much immediately.
So this is about as close to an early game disaster as it gets for NP in this lane. This should definitely not be happening. And it's sometimes you get greedy and you get carried away and you want to dive. And until Spirit Breaker shows up, it's an easy dive. I don't know if they couldn't see the TP, but Jerax juked them for so long in there
Yeah.
that he actually managed to get level 2. And the moment they dove him, he was level 1, and they knew he had Shadow Wave, so it's a very easy kill if they catch him. But
Well, the
he
timings were great.
fogged them
Not
for
only
so
that,
long.
but when Fly came in, he was level 1 as well, and he got level 2 in the midst
Anna
of it.
is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, well,
here.
Ignite's pretty good spell. He gets Breathe fired upon.
I'm
but he will
surprised
live.
they didn't dive for that one when they dove for the other one.
Are TP still on cooldown?
Maybe
they don't
just
have
wanna
TPs at
calm
this
down
point.
a little bit here.
Yeah, they need to settle down a bit.
This is a big problem because now they're giving space to the Slark. And because Slark got the 2 kills, he got both of them. He did not get first blood, I think. That one did go to SVG. Barely. But this is a bottle for no-tail, minute 3. And what should have been a very difficult lane, he can actually sustain in now. Because he can just bottle crow, maybe rotate for the 4 in the 6-minute rune if he wants to. And essentially, with this item, if he doesn't want to, he doesn't have to go for Aquila now. So he can transition into jungling level 6 with this bottle. And clear the woods with bottle and probably a Talon. So
S4 in the meantime was left alone
for
for a little bit versus AUI, and they're basically the same level. And that definitely favors the Brewmaster, who you were talking about needed to get that early Blink Dagger, and maybe he's not... Actually, he's farming really well, I was going to say. Jesus, he's top farmer for OG right now.
Brew is one of those offlaners. There's a type of offlaner that is really weak when it's alone and really strong when it has +1. And Brew is one of the ones that benefits so much from a bit of help. It just makes such a world of difference for him here. And that's top lane. S4 has a great start. They're running dual bottles, and it's because Invoker doesn't want one.
Oh, the Shadow Wave is so ridiculous, but SVG is here to heal up MSS. Jerax could grave himself. Here comes the save from Fly, the charge onto the Ogre. It's going to save the Dazzle's life. And will that be the end of it is the question. I don't know if NP can dive anymore. No-tail relatively low though, and of course not level 6 yet, so can't really... And with 0 regen right now, the bottle is empty. It's going to be hard for him to get back to full HP. Meanwhile, top lane, S4 and AUI going to trade hits. What do you think of this lane in general if it's a 1v1, just based, like, on paper? Like you have, like, the... Yeah.
I think it might actually be slightly Brew favored, because you can just play the economy of Haze versus Rage. Haze is 50 and Rage is 75, and it's a longer cooldown. And then, of course, the first hit of Lifestealer will always miss when your Drunken Brawler is ready, so... I think S4 is very happy with this lane matchup overall. I don't know. I think
bottom
as
lane.
just a complete isolated one, like a 50-50, maybe 60-40 tops for the Brew.
No-tail pounces into the trees. Jerax is here. He gets greeted by an Ignite pretty much right off the bat. Fly is here to help out as well. Jerax, of course, has a Shadow Wave. He's going to get stunned up for a second and will be brought down by the Mist Coil. 1437 bashed into the map.
This is the recipe for success for the dive. Just don't bring Wisp.
Yeah, I guess so. F the sustain. Fly in the meantime has charge available. We'll be fine one way or the other. And I hear a Sunstrike. It's not going to connect on SVG. It's almost as if he saw that.
I think he did. It probably got called by Envy mid. Envy's a very try-hard player, so he's going to look at Invoker the whole time, and if Invoker just like turns his head, it's like, Sunstrike bottom, Sunstrike bottom, Sunstrike bottom.
Yeah, that sounds like Envy, for sure.
And then
where's his
SVG
Basilius?
is like, just say
What's
it one
going
time,
on?
dude, and then he turns around. You know?
I'm surprised Envy doesn't have Basilius. He gets that on every single hero to try to disrupt the last inning. Guess it's not worth it on Dragon
I guess
Knight.
that means Dragon Knight just isn't a hero then.
I guess so. I mean, you're talking about Envy and Invoker, though. He's been playing that hero non-stop, so it's not surprising if he just... He feels like he's Invoker himself, you know? You go to bed, you dream, that long wavy hair, blonde. Is that even blonde? It's like white hair. What would that be called? I guess his actual hair in the game is blonde right now. But if you look at the portrait at the top, you know that kind of hair? It's like super... What's the word? It's just white. White supremacist
bleached.
hair, you know? Bleached hair, I like that. SVG getting charged up into a Sunstrike, and down he goes. Envy in the meantime. Gonna attempt to run away, but Rose is gonna be one caught off guard. Bashed
Clearly
up
the most
into the
important
cold
kill of the game
snap.
so far.
TP support coming in. MSS with a nice
S4 doesn't have mana now.
Fly, you're dead. So it's a 1-for-1. And Envy is not done yet. Has the breathe fire. Stun up in 4 seconds. Blocking Ogre Magi, no big deal.
Even
Actually,
if
the nice blocks
S4,
from Invoker.
even if S4 or Ana would have died there, that's worth dying for if they don't lose the tower. This is one of the things that I was expecting out of NP would happen, is that they want to push towers really early with Dragon Knight. They want to take advantage of OG's lineup being as greedy as it is. Invoker and Slark as cores both need time. They are not ready yet for this. And, well, if they do end up losing the tower anyway, this is a problem.
Here
OG are
comes
doing
the charge.
everything they can to hold
Dragon
it.
Knight about to lose Dragon form right now. Sunstrike will completely miss. But Brewmaster pops the ult, and they're going to find the Abaddon pretty easily. Now Envy might be next on the list. SVG tethers up, doesn't have his ult. He's only level 3. Dragon Knight getting quite low, pops the wand. He's very tanky with the raindrop, but not tanky enough, as Io might be next on the list, but S4 back into regular form. So they'll walk away with 2 kills. And a denied tower, but NP does get the tower.
Yeah, it's very important for NP that the tower at least falls. I don't think they're completely satisfied with that, but they have the right idea. I just think the execution was slightly lacking there, and they probably should have brought their full team even. They could have rotated AUI in as well, and that tower would have been uncontestable for OG, I would say. He didn't even get towered. He didn't get any structure damage top with his lifestealer. So I think these like maybe extra 5 or 10 CS he got from being up there aren't worth it compared to securing that fight in the tower for his team.
I think No-Tail really wants to go for this kill. He has haste bottled, has raindrops. He's relatively tanky. Has his ult as well. Abaddon will be accompanied by Eternal Envy on this Dragon Knight. Not able to get the stun off in time. Dark Pact was up.
Oh yeah, he had Arcane Rune on the first dragon form.
Ah.
That's really big. It shouldn't be ready yet. I don't think OG are expecting this. They don't have split. This tower's gone. They can't fight.
Done. He does have haste. He can go for the deny. Very important. There will be TP though from the Brewmaster. 55 seconds left on Primal Split. They're just going to try to get this deny. Envy not wanting that to come about, and they're going to get the last hit does NP. And there's a stun onto Brewmaster. He has this clap available. SVG going to go on by No-Tail. He's going to pop his ult to try to mitigate as much damage as possible. S4 in the meantime getting soloed by AUI, who has to turn his sights onto No-Tail. Pounces up in 10 seconds, bottling up, taunting away. So right now it's just a tower and some damage exchange. Envy still has Dragon Form for about 10 more seconds or so. No-Tail. Wow.
No-Tail, seriously?
That is some testicles on that man.
That's pretty ballsy. This is
And
still
some free hits mid.
good for NP. Good play. They get the bottom tower. They're going to defend mid with half. I think they could have lost less health on that. Now it's about minimizing casualties on the way out.
And charges in on Io. Another Sunstrike missed. AUI, surprise, he was in a creep the whole time.
They're not really
They're gonna run
communicating these Sunstrikes that well, it seems.
Yeah,
Missing some
they do get
opportunities.
Abaddon on the other side as well from the
Yeah,
Invoker.
they have Grave. He's fine.
No-Tail. Gray. He was actually faking animation there, surprisingly enough. Jerax.
Jerax will
has
die.
TP.
No, he can't get out in time. Ogre has a stun.
You can do it, Jerax. I believe in you. No. Meanwhile, mid lane,
Great
charge
call,
onto
Suns
Dragon
fan.
Knight. It's a 3v1. And here comes the Io. Still only level 3, though. And the Primal Split comes about as well. Dragon Knight getting healed up, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The right clicks will suffice. The charge. They're going to continue on. Ogre Magi is very, very tanky, but you see how much the damage the Primal Split Fire Panda does. And down he goes. Jesus. Insane. Now S4, very healthy. Has 1,500 gold, getting closer and closer to that inevitable Blink Dagger.
I think NP have to be pretty worried right now. This early game is going way too well for OG. I've been complimenting NP on their tower pushes, and it's been good that they've got these 2 towers. Ideally, they would have liked to have a 3rd at this point, and they definitely don't want to give away this many kills to that lineup. It's, as I was mentioning, a very greedy lineup by nature from OG, and the fact that these tower dives and this aggressive play from NP has resulted in this, like I was saying earlier, in big part just comes back to strength in numbers. I think OG has outnumbered them a lot because of lifestealers. In my opinion, overstay top. If he would have got the tower from being there that long, okay, but hasn't been able to. Pressure continues though. This is the mark of a team that really understands what they need to do in the game.
Right.
A lot of other teams will be like, oh shit, we're behind 9-4, they're winning fights, maybe we should slow down a bit. Hell no. Keep going here. You need to play your advantage.
Well, they're going to trade towers, but it is a tier 2 for a tier
top.
1. And they're fine with that. NP is.
It's good enough.
I mean, you're looking at the gold graph, and
Yeah, let's
obviously
hike on
NP
minute
are
12,
up,
guys.
but
Let's go.
actually OG is up. Jesus. They're up 1,500, and there
Very
comes the
good
weave.
NP needs to get out of here.
They're going to get half damage onto the tier 3, and the question
Very
is,
nice.
when Brewmaster, I mean, he's getting so close to this Blink Dagger, and if he had it, they probably would have gone for that fight, I assume.
He has cooldown and splits.
Oh, it's still on cooldown. 28 seconds. Well, he'll have that in time for the Blink Dagger either way.
The next dragon form will definitely be contested by OG, regardless of which tower it's on. I think even their top tier 1 they will want to fight for, so that they have access to their own ancients and the big camp up there for... especially the big camp will be a nice little extra bit of income for the Invoker. Both that and the ancient, actually, he wants both. Speaking of
Who
things
ate the
getting level
tome for
11 now.
NP?
What's that?
Not sure who ate the tome for NP, but Io is still severely under level right now, level 4.
Might have given it
Weave
to
again,
Ogre.
no tail onto Rose. Oh, the Sunstrike will finally hit, but it's going to be shared with the creep. So not a whole lot of damage done at the end of the day, and the
Looks like a good
just
fight for
stacking
NP,
up
though.
on the Slark. The beautiful Grave pops his ult. Here comes Primal Split. This is where they need to worry. Lifestealer getting stunned up. Look at the burst damage from the Shadow.
Crap,
Holy
there's
jeez.
damn. Oh, they're all
Fine.
woven.
Keeping
That was
on with
definitely
the
weave on
charge.
that
Yeah, the
lifestealer.
weave is disgusting, but it is now has dissipated. It's been long enough. It's a 2 for nothing. Ogre does find the kill on the Spirit Breaker. Anna very, very deep. Has Sunstrike available to him. He's going to get stunned up. Envy, Dragon Tail in 2 seconds, but there's a nice counteractive Thunderclap. Sunstrike again is going to whiff. Envy pops the Dragon for him. They're trying to find Anna, but they might have to settle for the Brewmaster if they even can. There comes the pounce. Fight is somehow continue. Envy in a 2v1. The Breathe Fire will miss onto Anna, who's going for the Rose kill. He's going to be able to get that 1v1. In the meantime, Envy getting healed up by the Io.
Oh,
Beautiful
the Shadow
disarm.
Amulet play!
Dragon Knight is dead. And Io, the last remaining member in this vicinity for SVG, attempting to run away. A couple more right clicks will do it. AUI a little bit too late to save him. Anna in the meantime, TPing out to the right clicks. Is it going to be enough? Wow.
Damn, that was
Barely
so
gets
sexy
that.
from OG. Very, very nicely played fight.
I am erect right now for sure. Rose in the
It
meantime
looked-
getting charged up. We're not done yet.
We
Right, now
are.
we're done.
He's not coming.
We're done.
That looked like it was gonna actually no tail. Hang on.
He's dead. Oh, do they have vision? Don't tell me they get this.
Oh boy.
Wow. Oh, is he gonna try to turn this? No tail? And the charge comes in into the Spirit Breaker ult. That's 1 kill for trying to dive onto No Tail. They actually punished that somehow.
No tail has
Jeez.
survived twice now with the Shadow Amulets. The first one was in the fight. Very nice play from him. Clutch. He was dropping very low. The reason I was calling that fight looking good for NP, they forced out the Grave at their tower. They got a hero very low, obviously, and they could follow through on that kill. But the Weave just, I think, caught AUI by surprise as much as it did me. Like, he looked like he was in fighting shape, and then he just dropped to the Brewmaster splits. All that minus armor just made the Fire Panda hit like a truck. And of course, the Shadow Wave as well, doing a lot of damage once that Weave is kicked in. I think 3 heroes of NP maybe were woven there. And
Does
yeah,
NP just
they have
group
to look
up
after
and
that. It's
force
a
towers
great
now?
dazzle game in that sense.
And look at this. That was actually an amazing Deafening Blast. It saved a teammate, helped get a couple kills. Ana, pretty godlike. Spirit Breaker, he's going to charge out and casually stun 3 on the way out. Ogre was looking for a stun. He's get the Ignite. Fly doesn't have TP for 43 seconds, but he's just wasting time. NP
Over
doesn't
front
chase.
Tower.
They get a tier 1 as a result.
Look at how low the CS values are in this game for a 15-minute game.
Yeah, that's true.
No one's even close to 100, and this is just the nature of the game where one team has this kind of early aggressive lineup.
Oh, No Tail. Debuting the Shadow Blade. Who does he go for? Everybody's relatively tanky. He'll find 1437 on the Ogre Magi. Here comes the Sunstrike. It will
Very
connect.
nice Sunstrike.
Very fast kill. Primal Split coming to effect. Eternal Envy pops the Dragon from him. If he goes down, this is huge trouble for NP. He gets bashed up. Fly in the meantime, he's going to be focusing on Lifestealer. Is Io level 6? No, he's still level 4. Oh my god, they can't do anything with this Io, unfortunately. Shadow Wave was being used to full effect, but infest into a creep. That's 3 kills here for OG. And they're just going to let this creep go down as No Tail knows that AUI is inside that creep. They're going to chase down this MSS. Going to attempt to TP out. Actually might get away. Nope. Charge just in time. Sunstrike not needed. Thunderclap will finish him off. In the meantime, AUI attempting to TP out. He will be the lone survivor, I believe. That was 4 kills, was it not?
Yeah, and Ana wasn't even there. He
Yeah,
sunstruck, and then he got the
Oh.
bottom tier 2 tower. That's... OG just stomped them in the last 5 minutes, basically. The game was looking pretty even. In these fights, they've just been pretty outplayed. And you're kind of harping on this Wisp not being level 6. I think it's a really big deal, and this should not be happening for NP. The Tome must have not been used by the Wisp. And in addition, the way that they laned aggro tri-lane and the way that he got sacrificed from it in the end just costs them way too much. They're going to
I mean,
lose
Envy just
here.
went down to right clicks. This is getting out of
It was Ogre as
control.
well.
OG is looking to take this 2-0. I mean, this is an NP push strat which has backfired to the highest degree. They got a couple towers, but the network lead was relatively even OG having a slight lead, and they just have snowballed out of control now. And this tier 2 tower will be the next target for OG. Of course, this is a elimination match, so this is the lower bracket finals. Winner will play EG in a best of, well, it depends. If OG wins, it's a best of 5. If NP somehow miraculously wins this game and then ends up winning game 3, it'll be a best of 3. Vlad's now onto the MSS Abaddon. Tier 2 towers taken out. Or, sorry, it was only one Tier 2 in the top lane. I thought they got mid lane for some reason, but it was just a kill. So AUI stuck with, I shouldn't say stuck, but 18 minutes in. All he has is Armlet right now. Not even Echo Saber.
And this is where you could say he should have just farmed more, but you know that's wrong. Like the way he would have had more items is if the fights went better and if they fought more. He obviously could have had more CS than this. He could have had like, if he was just farming, maybe like 150 or 140, and definitely had his Saber, but his team would have lost the fights even harder. He has to have a presence in this game with the way they need to play it. But the issue here is that NP have more or less missed their timing. Oh, that's so very
1437. You might be dead.
Pretty sure he's dead.
Aphotic Shield helped
Clunk.
keep him alive a little bit longer, but S4 is very fast because he has his rune. It's not a haste rune, it's an S4 rune, after all.
Actually, when Brew runs with haste, he really looks like someone who needs to take shit. You know?
That sounds like something I should be saying.
I know.
Don't ruin your reputation now.
I just wanted to bait you to saying that's my joke. So
You
that
bait me. You baited me. Uh-oh. He jumps in.
Did you just say a Twitch emote? Alright, let's go!
Oh god, Brewmaster's actually in a lot of trouble. He gets
good
grazed at the last
grave.
second. Primal split to follow, I'm sure. There it goes. They've used a lot of resources trying to get down that Brewmaster, all for naught. Buyback by Io, who's now level 6, by the way. 19 minutes in the game. Dragon Knight getting completely surrounded and bursted down. He looks so squishy against this OG team. And this is, in all likelihood, the beginning of the end for NP, as AUI is getting right-click down. No-tail, kiting as much as he can. Will live through the day. And 3 dead. Rose next on the list. GG's come out from Envy. OG take this in an extremely convincing game, too.
There's not much more to say than they got really outplayed in this game. They lost the stage of the game that their lineup was the strongest. And I completely agree with this GG call. You know, it's early, it's minute 19, it's an elimination game, but realistically this game is insurmountable. The lead OG has, like, I think they had a 15k lead now, minute 19, with a greedy early game lineup, so maybe greedy is an overstatement, but definitely weaker than NP's, I would say. And they just they took all the right fights. Again, just want to reiterate how much they got out of bringing all of their heroes to the fights. You see all of their heroes have great involvement when you look at KDAs. If you look on the other side, it's way more, like, you know, they didn't get that many kills after all, but you can tell that the distribution of kills KDA on that side should definitely have been favoring Dragon Knight and Lifestealer more than it did. Dragon Knight died early in a lot of fights, and in my opinion,
and I
Lifestealer had to get
think the
involved early.
weave was the biggest spell this game. I mean, obviously there's a lot of
Weave did
stuff
a
we can
lot,
talk about.
for sure.
Like Charge was very good in terms of keeping pressure on NP constantly, but Weave in those fights, Dragon Knight just looked so squishy, and that's not something you're used to seeing. And that accompanied with the fact that SVG just couldn't quite get level 6 in time to be able to relocate somebody out. But either way, OG will continue on to the grand finals, best of 5 versus EG. The server, in case you're interested, will be US West. This might be the first time we've ever done that before, because both teams are in US West right now. Cinderin, thank you for joining me. It was a pleasure, as always. You're supposed to say something now.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us. We'll be back after this break.
My pleasure.